Hello everyone and welcome once again to Twitch Tuesdays at the TRU Library. Hello. I am joined tonight, I'm honored to say, by Brenna. Brenna Clarke Gray. I know usually your name is like the gravitas of the entirety of your name.
I like to use all the barrels.
Yeah, and we're happy to have you here, Brenna. And tonight...
I'm delighted to be here. I'm so excited. I think this is such a fun idea. And I'm going to introduce you to a game that people might not know about that will quietly break your heart.
Oh, always here for that. Yeah, just before we get started, just want to double check, make sure that folks in the chat can hear us and hear the music and everything all right. Oh, Erin's in the stream. Definitely not a dragon.
That's gotta be Erin. Hi, Erin.
Okay, we are good. Good stuff. Alrighty. So a few things. Also, just I want to start just because I like talking about how people use the makerspace. And I was quite honored actually the other week when some folks came out to my birthday, and actually Sarah, who works in the makerspace, gave me this, which at first I didn't know what it was because I was like, what's the orientation here? Until I realized that in a chat, I'd actually mentioned to her that I was fond of Avatar: The Last Airbender. This was actually, that's Aang. You can see from the arrow there. Yeah. And it was actually made with the Cricut, that kind of digitized cutting device to make this paper cutout of a little kind of card. So yeah, I don't know, I just like to give a shout out to Sarah and her very thoughtful little birthday note.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, makerspace folks are great. So yeah, Brenna, I don't know if you wanted to actually introduce yourself and your role in TRU a little bit, and then maybe we can talk a little bit about getting into the game and then we can also talk about more of the stuff that you do.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Brenna, and I'm a coordinator of educational technologies here at TRU, which means that my job is supporting Moodle, supporting WordPress, supporting podcasting, really anything to do with the technology of teaching and learning. And I'm also a loudmouth on the internet. I'm very interested in ethics and privacy and protecting student privacy and student data. Sometimes when we talk about educational technologies, it's really easy to get super excited about the bells and whistles and all the fun stuff and forget about the privacy implications of sharing your learning materials online. So I like to be really excited about that kind of side of things as well.
Very much so. I mean, I'm quite fond of your Twitter stream. You have a lot more thoughts on it. I usually use my Twitter stream to just repost other things I see. But yeah,
I talk a lot on Twitter. Not always to the, not always. It's not always good, but it's always content. So I will say that.
Always content. That is the only thing the internet asks of you, content. But yeah, and so...
Okay, so we're getting into the game. I'm so excited.
So yeah, this is 1997. Open those boxes.
So the game mechanics here are really simple. You're literally just clicking to open boxes and put away items. You have to put them away in relatively coherent placement, I guess. The game will not let you progress to the next level if you
just all the stuff on the bed. Yeah.
Or put everything on the floor. It doesn't like that. You have to be relatively tidy. But what's so interesting about this is, the game opens up in 1997. Obviously, this is a child's bedroom or a teenager's bedroom. You're putting away sort of mostly childhood things.
Oh yeah, that journal I can't put in the desk until I get the box out of the way.
And there are moments like that where you're like, oh yeah, indie game, frustrating sometimes. Oh yeah. We've got some good advice in the chat there.
Pillow.
Journal under the pillow.
Oh, interesting. I didn't. Okay, Midnight Library. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah. So you gotta put the pillow first.
Secret. Yeah. We've unlocked a secret. Pillows.
So as you move through the different places this one character lives in their life, you slowly start to build the story of their life. And I really adore this game for the way it approaches narrative without ever engaging really with any text. It's just telling you the story through someone's most precious objects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a thing, right? Like, I don't know, like, I've only played a little bit into this because I was just exploring it before we chatted tonight. And yeah, it really hits you in the feelings because, like, it goes through each different age of their life. And, you know, they're like, what things are you able to keep? Like, no character showing up on screen either, Midnight Library. Yeah, you're quite right. Yeah, right? Like, it's the most minimalist story I've seen. And I've seen some pretty minimalist stories. Like, I think I mentioned on stream before, like, Journey and, like, the non-verbal storytelling of Journey by that game company. But this kind of takes that to another level.
It really does. And one of the things that you start to realize is it's about what you keep and what you say, but also as our protagonists, such as they are, begins to, make relationships and choose who and how to spend their life with people. It's also very poignantly often about the space that other people make for us in their lives or fail to.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. The first time I played through this game, my son is 5 and he recently has discovered video games, and so games like this where he can handle the controls, literally just pointing and clicking, are great. And my husband has one of those there's like an Xbox subscription where you get a pretty huge range of access to games for like a monthly really well when somebody you live with is 5 and has a very short attention
just
span.
Exploring things.
But so we play a ton of these kinds of indie games now that I may never have crossed my path previously. But this one I liked so much that I played it on that with my son, and then, who, by the way, really doesn't like that you can't leave everything on the floor. That's completely illogical.
Poor game design.
All our things on the floor. But then I then went and bought it for my own Switch so I could play through it by myself and feel all my feelings. It's a
Valid.
very emotional game.
Valid. All right. Definitely Not Dragon says, big fan of not having to read when playing games. Not sarcasm in brackets.
No. Oh, no. And Definitely Not Dragon, that is something, because when you do play games with a 5-year-old, if you are the person in the room who is most able to read, you end up doing a lot of reading. And so it is actually really nice to enjoy this game together where there's not kind of one person like directing the experience by reading. We also play a lot of Pokemon Diamond right now, and I spend a lot of time glossing over dialogue in the battle scenes because there's only so many times you can read the same words. So this isn't, there's something very, I don't know, broadly accessible, at least in that capacity, to a game like this.
Also, I was gonna say, like, the historical specificity of some of these things, right? Like, that's an old Game Boy, and that's a dreidel, and that the dreidel, like, a dreidel tells you something about the cultural background of the person, right? Like, that's a troll doll, which I think they still make, but you in the 90s you saw more of those troll dolls around, I feel.
Oh my gosh, everywhere with the little jewel belly buttons.
And like, still have this kind of like Polaroid-like camera, which is definitely like not a thing anymore. But also you still have the anime figures, because anime figures are eternal.
I do love that about this game.
And a Tamagotchi. So there you go.
Tamagotchi, yes.
Right there. Definitely Tamagotchi there. So, yeah. 90s references unlocked.
So true. Also, I just think this room is great. Like, look at that Lisa Frank poster on the wall. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. Some themes, though I find like I get a little bit anxious because like you have to kind of put things on the floor to kind of like make sense of what all is going to go where.
You do.
Yeah. Tamagotchi
says to empty every box onto the floor, all the boxes entirely onto the floor, and then organize it. And I gotta tell you, it stresses me out. I like it because there is direction, but it is not directive. If that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
Really. Kind of experience the game yourself.
Yeah, I like this. Like, for the spooky season, we know that that's Dracula, right there.
Nice.
We have like an octopus. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something, but it might be.
Oh, it looks like it. Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like, there's enough like hinted at, but also like children's book, right? Like that's just got a big old elephant on it. So it's kind of like transitional.
Yeah, there's something about this space where you still have all your stuffies and your
Hmm.
My Little Ponies, but you're also starting to explore. You slowly, over the course of the game, you slowly discover that our protagonist is an artist,
Hmm.
and so you'll see the supplies change in their level of
Yeah.
maturity as time passes.
Hmm. So like
Oh, so
these.
it doesn't like where you put three things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I was expecting the pig painting to be a bit of off, but I was just trying. Let's see. I feel like there's just a little bit too much stuff for room in here, but maybe that's just my own sensibilities. Alrighty. Well, then, because I feel like that I don't want to put like all this stuff looks like it's made to be displayed for the most part.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna tidy this up there. There, you don't need to have those out. You can take them out when you're having time with your friends. Poof.
Kind of a kid room thing, though, right? It's like I noticed this in my own house. Like everything has to be on display because everything is equally special.
Yeah, you want to show it off.
Totally.
There we go. We got the little star. And one of the things you can put some stuff on the windows. Oh, the windowsill. Oh, that's some S tier gaming. Boof, you're right. We have windowsill bus.
I love the travel items. So we have this London bus, and I think in the next level it gets joined by an Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
and
cool.
Slowly, this little travel collection emerges.
One of the things you can take screenshots of it too.
Yep.
And I thought there was a way to just do the rapid popping. No. That's no.
Oh, I don't know.
I discovered this effect. Oh no. Oh, where it rapidly replays it and everything starts popping into place really quickly. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't played with that program.
How did I get that the last time? I don't want to reset my.
Is it the video camera?
Maybe.
On the album?
Quick playback. There, you can make a GIF of it, and you can change the playback speed. So this is going to be like popcorn. Look at this. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I gotta say, there's a level in which it makes me a little bit anxious that it records. It knows all the mistakes I made.
It's watching all the floor.
There were air quotes there.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I had it the way I like it.
Yeah. All the floor organizing, and then I don't know. That was just kind of a fun thing I accidentally discovered while playing around with it over the weekend.
I love that.
Definitely not Dragon. I wish it went that fast in real life. Yeah, true facts. Honestly, I feel like this is it starts off with the kids thing, but this is made to hit people our age particularly hard, I think. I don't know. I've had to move on average once a year since leaving my parents' house at 18, so I've moved a lot, and I have feelings about that, because I don't know about you, but it's not that I'm nomadic by choice, it's just that I'm ineffectually sedentary. Alright, let's go into that. Badoof.
I get that. It's funny, I was somewhere, somebody was talking about how real, quote unquote, real lovers of books keep their books forever. And I was like, well, keep some books forever, but I've moved a lot.
And books are heavy. Books are so heavy. I lost a library basically. I have a shelf of books now, and I've read hundreds and hundreds. For my comprehensive exams, I read 400.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, my griping about my life circumstances aside, I'm curious. Yeah, what sort of other things do you do that students might interact with?
Oh yeah, it's my favorite part of my job is when I get to interact with students. So if there are students tuning in and checking in, we can support you with all kinds of different things. Like if you want to make a website, or if you've always wanted to do a podcast, or you want some support with, even if you got a creative project for a class and you really want to approach it in a particular way using kind of technology and you need support with it, we're always eager to do that. So yeah, something we do a lot of with students is building websites or e-portfolios to showcase their work. Podcasting is a huge interest of mine, and I'm always excited to help students get involved with that world.
Ooh,
So
that's good
yeah.
to know. So have you actually done much with the Makerspace podcast studio yet, or like did you like
I
collab with them?
No, I haven't yet. We have learning, like we have an open course, which by the way, I was just tweeting about this today. Our
Mm-hmm.
open podcasting course starts on November 1st.
Okay.
And it's a self-paced, but you can do it with a cohort open course open to everybody. And every year we have some students take it alongside.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've developed materials like that we hope the makerspace makes use of, but we haven't had any formal partnerships yet. We spent a lot of time chatting about the podcasting infrastructure when Franklin was setting that space up, and yeah, I'm a big fan of the makerspace.
Yeah,
for sure.
cool. Oh, and there's the iPod. So again, it's like 2004.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Closet.
That reminds me, the iPad, the MP3 player there reminds me of my husband had one of those very first ones when we were in high school that could hold like 8 songs.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, and he lent it to me for a walk home one winter night, and what did I do? I dropped it in the snowbank.
Oh no. Oh no.
I've been great with technology.
You know, you're just testing it, right? That's just like a very like practical, usage evaluation.
Exactly.
Can I drop this technology in a snowbank? Yes, great. No, not going to survive real world.
Right off. We learned. That's what we learned.
So yeah, definitely not a dragon says, I took 5 boxes of books when I moved out of my parents' house, and it was a big mistake since I ended up 2 blocks from them. Yeah, right? Fair. You have to triage that too, right? Like most of my books are back in Nova Scotia. And yeah. But yeah, so that's really cool. So I didn't realize that like students could just come to you for
they
things.
Absolutely can. So we are primarily faculty support. That's what we are on paper. I just realized it's not a no. I thought that was an Eevee at first. I think it's just a cosplay character.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the
this doesn't belong
so
here.
we are faculty support on paper, but we love working with students, and we see particularly if there's a classroom application or a teaching and learning application, or it's for a club or a committee. Like to me, that's all of a piece. So yeah, we're very happy to support that work.
Cool. Yeah.
We recently helped Masters of Education students put together a podcast that they do about where they've tried to record some oral histories, some oral storytelling, and make that into a podcast. And so, that's the kind of project that is just great fun to help out with.
Very much so. Cool.
So I didn't realize that you could change its pose.
Yep.
That's new to me.
Okay, is this an anachronism? Did they I don't think they dabbed or did did that pose in 2004. I feel like we found
not dabbing.
Midnight Library. So all the DVDs and game cases in this are based on real ones. I'm pretty sure that one on the top shelf is The Matrix.
Oh.
Which one? This one, the one I'm holding. Okay, I could kind of see that. There's definitely like some like not quite identical, but like resonances there. Like even like the that art book. Like I recognize some of them from my friends who are artists. Like I think that there's definitely some like knowledge contained in here.
Yeah, you're right. That was Ghost World. When you lifted up the Matrix one, the DVD and behind it's very much Ghost World.
So that's really cool again. But again, like you have to be of a time. Could be an archery pose. I guess so. But I don't know, because I feel like with the Exhibit B here, stickers, I got that sticker when I first did that.
Oh.
So I feel like it's definitely not an archery pose. The one behind is But yes, I appreciate your like imagination there, Midnight Library. So yeah, and it's just you just like there's a lot of pants. I also like the kind of like the touch of like not everything is perfectly in the boxes, right? Some of the stuff is for the bathroom, and some of the stuff is like for here and for there.
It's very much the way I pack.
Oh yeah, just anything that will fit in a box. Honestly, like for the amount of times I've moved, I'm really bad at it. I'm just like whatever, just get all the things in the things.
I'm amazing at it for the first like week of packing. When you've got lots of time, everything is very well organized, and then it all goes to heck.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly as I get closer to the deadline.
Yeah. Ooh, moon shirt. You get displayed. Brago. And yeah. You can set the clock, you think. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, there we go.
There's a fascinating amount of detail in here.
Yeah, it's right-clicking this extra little... Oh, actually, that's as far as it can go. 8:48. Interesting. And the music is stopped, too. Oh, and there's the bus again.
And I just realized that every time you move the clock, it goes back to 12, 12, 12. Because you've had to unplug it to move it. That's clever. There's my Eiffel Tower.
There's your Eiffel Tower.
Our protagonist seems to take a trip once every 5 years or so.
Cool. Now this looks like a shower curtain, but there's no place to put it up in the shower, so I'm just going to assume it's some sort of clothing thing.
I think it's the pajama pants to match the purple top, because I always put those under her pillow.
I keep on forgetting about the, yeah.
I think if you stack them together, you can lift them together and then tuck them under the pillow.
Yeah, I know the way that I'm doing this here is not like, you wouldn't really want to try to access this mountain of clothes. Yeah, the amount of details. Underpants. Yoink. I'll be a kindness and not like just leave them all out for them.
There's so many pairs of underpants, which my kid thinks is the most hilarious thing ever, as we unpack all the underpants every time he goes, underpants!
You know, there you go. You gotta do something with them. And, yeah.
The older the protagonist gets too, the more socks and underwear you have to put away at every house.
Oh my. That's how you know it's an adult simulator. And yeah.
So yeah, if students are looking for any kind of support with, you want to make a website, and actually it doesn't have to be coursework related. If you'd like to make a website on your own for searching for jobs or to showcase your work in some way, even just for a blog, we've got lots of student blogs on our WordPress server. You can always email learningtech@tru.ca and just let us know, and we will hook you up.
Oh, so this one I recognize right away. That's Donnie Darko. That is straight up Donnie Darko. They're like, oh, it's so like chill, and this is just such like a pretty kind of game. Oh no, what is this?
Everybody our age remembers when they first saw Donnie Darko, I think.
Yeah. Waltz in the Fourth Dimension. The song in it. This is not really ideal, kind of. I would not be entirely happy with all of this, but I'm just trying to get them out of the boxes right now.
I think you put the mouse pad on the shelf, but I'll allow it.
The mouse. Oh, that's the mouse pad?
That purple thing is the mouse pad.
Okay. Oh, look at there. Oh, I just thought it was another kind of like art case, like the one for the pens. Yeah. So that's a really helpful and interesting service. I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah. And what's nice too is sometimes instructors will, very well-meaningly say to students like, "Oh, make a website," and students are like, "Oh," so then often,
thanks.
You end up heading in the direction of a free service like Wix or one of those tools. And problem with that is it's really hard to get your stuff back out of it after. Whereas we just have a straightforward WordPress installation here. There's no time limit on it as it is right now. That may have to change one day in the future, but for now, students can keep using it long after they finish at TRU. And even if that were to change and we had to lock down the accounts a little bit more, we'll teach you how to export your files, and so you can put it on your own WordPress installation someday. So yeah, it's a much more secure, privacy compliant way to approach a task like building a website.
Cool, good to know.
And it's also really good to be empowered how to use a tool like WordPress, because somewhere on the order of 30% of the internet runs on WordPress, so it's a really great job.
Interesting.
Too.
Oh yeah, big one. So interesting. Well, that's also a question. So if a faculty member, say hypothetically speaking, me, wanted to make a personal research or website or professional website, is that something that I could get help with at your service? Cool.
Absolutely. Oh man, Ben, we have, first of all, I have 900 websites, and second of all, did my computer go to sleep? It did. Hopefully you didn't lose. Did you lose me? Am I here?
No, I can still hear you. No worries.
Oh, good. Okay. So yeah, I have like infinity websites on TrueBox, but yes, you can set up an account. We can set you up a website, and again, it doesn't have to be, like capital S scholarly. If you wanted a web presence for all of the Twitch videos that you've made, and you wanted to archive them all on your own site, we could do something like that for sure.
Okay.
And we even have a group that meets once every 2 weeks. That's just people hacking away at WordPress projects together,
cool.
with the support of our design team and myself and Jamie Drozda and Melanie Latham, who were the 3 coordinators, and Brian Lamb runs those meetings. So yeah, it's super laid back. We're very eager to help people learn how to use WordPress and to use the tools that we have. And we have a very robust suite of tools. With a lot of different plugins and themes and things, and so yeah, you don't get kind of sucked into that vortex of like paying for plugins or additional functionality. It's all available to you.
And Definitely Not a Dragon says, and guys, these sites are beautiful. I keep seeing more, and they're all so fancy. Good stuff.
We are all upskilling dramatically, but I think a bigger thing is that WordPress has moved to a block editor. That makes it a lot easier to create really beautiful sites with it's harder to make your sites ugly now than it used to be. That's what I will say. But if you want to go for a really retro theme with a lot of blinking lights, I can help you with that.
Can we make an angel fire site? Or will someone come and stop us?
No, nobody will stop you. In fact, so within the Moodle platform, you have very little ability to customize, but you can add custom colors with CSS. And there is an instructor who loves some bright pink and bright yellow imagery. So yeah, we won't stop you.
Good to know.
Definitely Not Dragon says sound like a challenge. It is. Take on my challenge. Create an ugly TrueBox site. You will be more than welcome to do so.
Yeah. Midnight Library says, a private bathroom and bedroom in a dorm is pretty deluxe. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything like this when I was an undergrad.
Yeah, no.
That's why I was not even sure if they were going off to college or if this was like, well, they're just moving out.
Apartment, maybe. I think of it as a dorm because of the weird desk closet layout. But
that's true.
The kitchen does give one pause. Although it is like a not a full kitchen, but it's still pretty good. I would have liked this if I didn't do the dorm thing ever actually.
I did.
Terrible apartment.
Oh no, yeah, no. I definitely after I lived in dorms for like 2 years. And then when I moved out, I got this, like, literally probably the nicest slum apartment that, like, $150 a month could get you. There were, like, 20 of us in that building. It was not legal at all. Stories from Windsor Street were a thing.
So our first apartment was in what is not so lovingly referred to as the student ghetto of Ottawa. And it was this terrible 3rd floor walk up. The apartment itself was really great unless you wanted a kitchen because it didn't have one, or if you felt like the ceiling over your bed should not be a hole.
Yeah.
Right? Like if that's how you felt, then it wasn't a good apartment for you. But if you were okay with those 2 things, then it was great. Oh, and it didn't have phone service because the wires weren't connected properly, and one day I connected them myself, and our phone service worked.
Troubleshooting.
Learned a lot of independent life skills in that apartment. Also was a witness to a crime.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those.
Classic apartment living.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Midnight Librarian, the days of $150 a month rent, long gone. True. But though that said, I should stress that it was not a nice space. there were like 7 of us on that floor, and there were 7 people on the ground floor. And I learned only after we moved out that there were another 5 people in the basement. Like, when I say it was probably not legal. It was probably not legal.
We had some. My best apartment was the apartment that I lived in Fredericton because I moved there after 5 years of living in Ottawa, and so the rents in Fredericton seemed exorbitantly low to me. Like I was just so dazzled. that I ended up renting this gorgeous, gigantic apartment. And I still remember the day we signed the lease. We went out for lunch, and the waitress said, "What are you paying for it?" And we told her, and she was like, "Oh, you're getting robbed." And we were like,
Yeah.
"Not to us."
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, that's the thing. Yep. Oh wait, is it the right? Okay, it is the right way around. I'm like, where's the space bar on this thing? But yeah, no, it's definitely a lot. And yeah, and as you were saying, like just like the things that the protagonist chooses to keep and bring with her, and how that, I suspect that probably changes over time and tells a story itself.
And like the stuffy collection gets pared down, which breaks my heart a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Indeed, yeah.
It's tragic.
I still have one stuffy with me that I managed to take across the continent.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it repaired at one point because he was so threadbare.
Oh yeah.
And he's been absconded by my kiddo. And that's exactly it. Midnight Library. It's like the most. It's like you can watch this life kind of get distilled down, and then when you go back and play it again from the beginning, it made me change everything I put on display, because I was like, all the stuff that I know makes it to the end, I ended up putting that like sort of
pride of place. Yeah. Makes sense. Oh my. Oh wait, okay.
You are very good at organizing this kitchen. I found this kitchen organization level very frustrating.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I could not nail it in a way that I felt pleasing that also was accepted.
Yeah.
One Doc Martin. I had a pair of burgundy Doc Martens.
Oh, good stuff. I'm still waiting to get my Derby swirls repaired. From Fluvogs, they're kind of like a fancier ripoff of the Doc Martens.
Yeah, they're fancy though.
But yeah, you're right. The most important ones are there. What even is that? I think that's a peeler.
Oh, that was one we had a big, like a family debate about what that thing was supposed to be and where it was supposed to go.
Yeah, right. Like it's because it's like there's some specificity, but there's also enough vagueness in it that you're like, sometimes what am I looking at here? How do I place and organize this?
Yes.
Oh, that's as far.
Oh, Midnight Library! I never noticed that before. You're totally right.
Oh. North American Standard. Yeah. Right there you can see. So, and this is interesting. I don't know if you. I mean, okay, you have a child, so I'm going to say, do you know Steven Universe?
Yes.
Okay, I'm quite fond of it, unashamedly. But one of the things that the showrunners tried to design there is this very intentional sense of like, it might not be identical to what you know, but everything is based off of a real world thing.
Oh, cool.
So like there's that kind of like, oh yeah, no, like the gaming system and the this or the that, they're all like, they're not identical, but they're referencing, rather than just being miscellaneous. Toilet paper or garbage bags? Or not toilet paper, paper towel. There we go. I mean, actually, how often are they going to have a full boil up? Let's put that there. I'm going to assume they're really tall. That's the thing also. The building design here makes me think that like in order to reach the top shelf, they have to be so tall.
Yes. I feel that. I'm definitely short enough that I will forget we have the good chips if they end up on the top shelf of the cupboard,
so some strategy there in terms of where they end up.
True.
Okay. And it's also interesting seeing how it judges you, being like, okay, would a responsible adult actually leave this here? Are you sure? It's like...
I think the kitchen is the hardest one. Because everybody organizes their kitchen differently, you know?
Yeah. All right. Okay, well, let me put that...
feelings about how kitchens are organized.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of the spaces that you have to, like, physically use the most. It's really interesting from a design standpoint, too. I don't know if you know much about the history of like scientific management and like the Gilbreths and like Lillian Gilbreth and the design of the kitchen and how she kind of like, when you found that like, the way that the kitchen door opens and has like the egg things built into it, that was one of her things. And like the step foot pedal thing for the garbage was one of Lillian Gilbreth's designs, specifically in fact in the aftermath of the war, to try to like with the war and polio actually trying to make sure that it was easier for people physically to do things like that.
It's one of my great annoyances in life that those the egg thingy is gone from.
Yeah, you don't really see them anymore.
You don't get it anymore. No, and I don't like keeping my eggs in the carton. I don't know why. Maybe that's weird. So now I have a cracked bowl whose job it is to hold all the eggs in the fridge. And I just think, give me back my egg slot.
Return what has been stolen.
Exactly. Not fair.
This is still not ideal, but I feel like I should be able to put that.
Those plates on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Could you 3D print an egg thing for your fridge, says Midnight Library. I think you very well could, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. We have the technology.
I was going to say I have a new makerspace project.
Alright, you know what? Fine. If it's not going to let me put it anywhere else, you go there.
It's not going to get happy about it on the floor. Oh, okay.
No. Alright, where's it judging me here? Okay, it's saying that doesn't go. Anything goes. I have candles on there and like in my room or my bathroom. And you say that would let. What even is that pink thing? There. You happy?
That's perfume. Pink thing.
Okay.
So can you open the bathroom cupboard slowly? Oh no, it likes that.
Yep. No, that is sufficient. But what's it judging me for here? Okay, that and okay. Alrighty. Well, but why? Why can't that stay on the ground?
Because you can. Oh, I don't know why that can see there, but the bag is not letting you get into the bed, so it doesn't like that.
Alright, that's the issue. I feel a bit bad for like blocking off that plug, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a low risers in front of the plug though. So.
There, haha. There we go. But yeah. There's a whole bunch of politics about the interior design of homes historically, and the Gilbreths were working in between like 1910 and 1960. And there's a lot of politics there too, which I've already mentioned actually in a previous stream, but I still think it's really interesting about how, she was in Cheaper by the Dozen, and they were like, with scientific management, we can have 12 kids and it's fine. And we're not going to talk about all of the servants that we actually use. This is just us and our scientific know-how of organization principles.
Oh, wild. I don't know anything about this.
Oh yeah, it's actually a colleague of mine at York did their dissertation on it.
Cool.
All right, just because it's satisfying, let's up the playback speed a little bit. Let's watch the popcorn pop.
It is very satisfying. I can't believe I didn't know this because I have a 5-year-old who will be very thrilled to do this.
Oh my, that's a little bit too jarring. Like when you switch between zones, right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What have I done?
I would own that satchel for sure.
I'm a satchel person.
Most of the aesthetic of, I have to say, as the protagonist aesthetic ages, there's one phase where they move in with somebody, and it's the only phase of the game I'm annoyed with. The aesthetic of the person they move in with is not.
Doesn't match? Yeah.
No.
Oh my. Oop, no. Let's go back. Oh, there we go. There we go. Alrighty. So on to the next one.
Yay!
Oof.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, I got a college degree. That'll be $50,000. Classes start Monday. Uni, here I come. Get smart. Achievement unlocked. But yeah.
My computer too. That brings back memories.
Oh yeah. 2007. I was just actually last year of my undergrad. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's specifically a PlayStation 2. Just based on the design of it. Yeah. Oh, Sailor Moon cosplay. Wait, no, is that Sailor Moon cosplay or Sailor? Or is it? Yeah.
It's some kind of cosplay.
Oh yeah, but look at that there. Yeah, that has to be Sailor Moon inspired. Oh, and that's a Rust Monster from Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, roller derby. Oh, you think it's a roller derby outfit? Midnight Library. So each room has a different phrase under the photo, says Midnight Library. Settlers of Azorius is Catan. Oh yeah, interesting.
This was 2007, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I was doing my comprehensive.
That's roller derby Azorius capital Monopoly. So is this your guess? Are you moving into someone else's? Is that the implication here?
I think this one you're on your own, and the next one you move in with somebody, if I'm remembering correctly. There's a roller derby helmet that matches that costume too.
Oh yeah, cool. So it could be both. It could be Sailor Moon roller derby cosplay, because honestly, roller derbyers go hard. Yeah.
There's some good.
You're moving in with your D&D friends, says Midnight Library. Actually,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
actually.
like this level. It's the first romantic level that I don't like, but the second romantic level I love. So
Okay. So yeah, so it
is
is
that a
interesting,
hot
right?
water bottle?
Wait, which one?
Amazing.
Which one?
On the couch, on the couch. There's a hot water
But it
bottle
looks
with
like
a
it's
little
done up with like
sweater.
I was gonna say like, is it? But yeah, you're right. It is a hot water bottle with a sweater. Oh, the anime character has survived another journey. It does, yeah, seeing which ones make it. And Donnie Darko has survived because the good die young. But
It is so cute. You're right. Midnight Library.
person's life as well. Yeah.
I really like. I mean, so I'm an English geek by training, and I really love the way
Oh wow.
this so subtly explores sort of the idea of narrative and how it functions. I just think it's just amazing how you put these details together so slowly, and how satisfying the journey is.
Yeah, and the fact that you're moving, it like it forces you to think about each individual object. Like even if it's just in like, how does this fit in this space? But even while you're wrestling with it, you're still also thinking about what is this, and what does it fill in the narrative.
And in the
Midnight Library, honestly, I really hope people are teaching this in storytelling classes. Yeah, no, it's a really interesting case study. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Brenna.
No, I was just gonna say, I keep alluding to it, but in the level, there's like the protagonist's first romantic relationship that you embark on, and there's so obviously no space for you in that person's life as you start to unpack. And it made me so like I got progressively more stressed out.
That makes me feel things, because honestly the reason why I don't have a library anymore is related to that.
Yes, right. You can kind of see the protagonist making their life smaller to fit, and then there's a resolution, which I won't give away, because honestly, this game, the final level of this game, absolutely blew me away. I had very real tears.
Cool. But also just like it's interesting because like this is definitely someone else's space. There's dirty dishes in the sink, right? There's all these kind of like that's not something when you're moving into your whole brand own space. Yeah, like what is all this stuff here? What do I make?
Yeah, and where do I put it, and how does it fit? And here it's fairly spacious, right? Like you can see that it's almost like this space was waiting for you. Not so some of the other spaces. So
it's like someone else lived here, but they also were aware that like someone else is going to be needing to set up a little bit.
Yeah. And I love the ramshackle things that survive, like that sugar, that like sugar jar with sugar just kind of written on it.
Sug.
It's so totally the kind of thing that you move from house to house to house.
It's just it's useful and it maintains that use.
Exactly.
All right, where's the dangerous drawer? Let's put it that way. What am I looking at here? Is that a like koala can opener or something?
Oh, believe we came to the conclusion that was a fridge magnet at our house.
Okay. Oh, touche. Well played. Someone has moved out, says Midnight Library. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. It has that more of that vibe, that there was another roommate. And now...
Gosh.
Yeah, you're good at this.
Game again now. And it's interesting because, as I've said, I'm playing so much Pokemon Brilliant Diamond right now. So much. I've invested now something like 16 hours into this game. And it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. And I'm enjoying it in lots of different ways. But when I think about how much narrative is packed into like these tiny moments and tiny details in this game, I'm just sort of, I realize how hungry I am for it when I'm
it's like an economy of space in storytelling.
Yeah.
That looks more like a bath towel. Yes, it does. I like this.
One small annoyance that I have with that frying pan is that it has a hanger on the end, but
and you can't hang it anywhere.
Find a place to hang it.
Yeah.
You can hang it in the dorm, but then there's nowhere to hang the towel if you do, and it gets mad at you.
Oh. I brought my own roach spray. I have plans for this apartment.
That's just being a good roommate.
Oh, these days it's bed bugs.
Oh yes, that panini press reminded me. Did you see it went viral on Twitter this week? Somebody was like talking about the height of the design aesthetic of the early 2000s and how you could buy a George Foreman grill that matched like your candy colored iMac.
No, I
They
did
had
not.
like Bondi blue.
Oh wow,
George Foreman
did
grill.
not know that.
I genuinely miss that tech aesthetic. I have to say, I really liked it. Everything should look like candy.
Oh my, oh, what was I thinking there? Oh yeah, where's I going here? Just check. Oh well, I've forgotten. Oh yeah, they have bed bugs. Like, bed bugs are a very serious concern that have been coming back since like the First World War, but like moving to Toronto, like having never had them in Nova Scotia. Transparent colored technology, yeah, Midnight Library, that is also definitely an aesthetic. Or the ones where like, I remember the first television I played a video game on was actually this one my father won in a raffle. It was black and white, it was tiny, it was transparent, but the inner like knobs and stuff were all like brightly colored plastic. And I played like Super Mario Brothers 2 in black and white on the floor with that when we first moved to Nova Scotia. Yeah.
I was having real nostalgia for black and white TV this week while my kid's been sick, because the big deal at my house was there was like a big TV in my parents' room, and then we had this little, it wasn't really big, it was one of those pieces of furniture TVs, you know?
Oh yeah.
And then we had this little Lloyd's black and white, maybe 12-inch television that we got to move into our bedrooms when we were sick. And I watched so much Price is Right on black and white TV. And I'm thinking that while my son was snuggled up in bed with an iPad watching like a full array of programming options.
Oh, this is okay. This is interesting. Like, judging who they are as people, because their roommate is a PlayStation 2 person, but they are a GameCube person.
Yes.
I feel like
GameCube person being, of course, the superior person.
I was just gonna say they probably have more friends. I don't know. I was like a playing RPGs by myself, PlayStation kind of kid.
I never had a game console growing up, and when we first moved into a house with a bunch of friends, it was like this really big deal. I saved up and I bought a GameCube, and we had this whole house game of Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay.
On GameCube, right?
Cool.
That existed.
I wasn't not a GameCube kid. Couldn't tell you.
But that was my first console, and everybody else who lived in the house had consoles like the whole time growing up, and so I was like this very weird and possessive over the game.
Oh, I mean, fair. It's yeah, it's new and exciting. Boop boop. Let's see. I think they'll be persnickety if I put this here. I'm going to put this back in their room for now to sort out. On the one hand, I like the fact that. Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I was just saying we had a big debate on my house about whether that was a CD rack, like, or whether those were like discs for the computer, like whether it was music CDs or computer CDs.
I think it's music CDs because you didn't have a computer in the 1997, but you did have that with your tape player.
Good point.
Oh, observation skills, inference. This is, some galaxy brain gaming.
I'm not going to share that with my family because that makes me wrong.
Fair, secret. Oh man, all these figures, like big geek vibes. Actually, the Trusu Gaming Club has done a lot of things with D&D minis recently, and we actually have you can 3D print things like that now.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and Gundam Wing explicitly, right there. I think it's also interesting that like some of the stuff isn't like well placed, but like it's not yours, so you can't move it.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Even if you wanted to.
When you move in with the first romantic partner, you can move some of the stuff, but not all of the stuff, which I also find interesting.
That looks like.
And I'm not sure if folks can realize this, like from watching you play it, but is it not extremely satisfying to click and move those objects around? There's something very, I don't know, calming, soothing. It's all the fun parts of unpacking without having to actually do it. Organizing and stuff.
I definitely have moments where I'm just like overwhelmed with unpacking, and I'm like, nope, I have a bed. That's all I need right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, but like you don't have to live in the mess, you know? Because I love sorting and organizing, but I don't love all the rest that comes with it.
Yeah.
This game is kind of ideal.
Having a clear space to do it in makes a difference.
Yes.
And that's the thing too, like, you know, as house prices get increasingly like unachievable for most people, more of us are living with others. Like, this is the first time in a long time that I haven't had to live with other people, and but yeah, and I think that's not an experience that previous generations, although I should say a very specific generation has had, right? Because like historically, group living is more of the norm than not, but that's not the narratives, at least I was told growing up, in terms of like how your life is supposed to go. Okay.
Oh, hey, speaking of, well, not really, but you just reminded me. When you were on the podcast, Ben, we talked about the YouTubers.
Yes.
And I was thinking about you today when I was watching, John Green had a video up today that was explaining how the vast majority of people who have ever existed would have never turned 20. And it was about, he was like trying to figure out what like the median person was.
The
like,
vast majority of people would have never turned 20. I mean, like, when talking about like you know, child mortality rates and like the Middle Ages and stuff.
Yeah, and like for I can't now. I'm never gonna be able to quote it.
Oh,
but like
this is new.
the median human being, you would have thought like we got to the middle point of all of human history like relatively recently in terms of like sheer numbers of people who have existed, right? Because like our population is so vast compared to what it once was. But actually, the median human probably existed like 2,000 years ago because so many more people died.
Yeah.
At such a younger age. So like out of all of human history, I don't know, you hear about life expectancy, right? And like you understand that it has expanded over time, but there's something so jarring about the idea that the vast majority of people who have ever existed would never have turned 20.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Because like, speaking as a historian, there's a lot of history back there, right? Like, you don't think about like the vastness and the depth of time, or at least, a lot of folks don't.
Oh, Midnight Library is pointing at the chickens, and let me just say, one of my favorite things is to like really display the chickens as the levels go on. Like, keep the collection together.
I don't know. This is probably not the best chicken placement, but actually,
I like it. It's pride of place.
Maybe you put them with
the D&D
They
game.
are, yeah. Suddenly you are confronted by a chick.
Oh, and there's a Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? My theory of the trip every 4 years.
Yeah. I feel like that should probably go in their own room. That's the thing too, though. Like, it's like, it's not. It doesn't give you in terms of guidance in terms of like where things should go from like what makes sense. Like, will your roommate even like that there?
Yeah, and it's all these sort of, I don't know, there's a million conversations that you never get to hear too, which is sort of a fascinating aspect of the game. Oh, business cards, first job.
Yeah. It took me a lot. Actually, I think this was the first job I ever had a business card for. Oh my. Oh, wait,
I ordered business cards when I got here, and then
I guess I'm gonna have to say there's somewhere.
My office moved like immediately after. So
oh no!
it became quickly irrelevant.
I think I'm gonna have to start just putting some things down. Oh yeah, is that the Doma in Italy?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was definitely getting some Italian vibes from some of those pictures.
Yeah, I love.
Which I guess there's a Colosseum. I replaced my office number with my Orchid number on my business card. That makes a lot of sense, Midnight Library. I still need to...
It's an amazing idea.
I need to sort out so much of my digital presence act. I'm really bad at that. I spend more time curating my Tumblr feed than I do my like online scholarly presence.
Hey Ben, I know somebody who can help you with a website.
Though also, like, my partner very kindly has like done a little bit of stuff on that for me, and I'm like, but also I'm curious. I'm curious to see. Oh yeah, one of those. Okay, that is a mouse pad we've established, so there's a whole computer coming out here somewhere. But yeah, like, I just have to put everything on the bed so I can see it all.
I love that they still have that clunky old mouse and keyboard set.
I mean, they last.
They improved their monitor though.
I remember my first monitor was like older than me when I first got it, and like I had it long enough for it to like turn a weird orange color at the center, so all my video games had this like, I am like, what color were things when I was playing them during that time period? I don't even know. Slightly orangey, everything. Oh.
Yes, I mean that is an expense. Was inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
They've also upgraded their Game Boy, right? Because those are the
That's like a Game Boy Game Boy Advanced specifically. Yeah. And that drawing tablet would have been expensive at that time. Yeah, you're right. So like there's a lot of like historical knowledge that's very subtly placed in here, which is, also quite telling, right? Because I mean, like, this is a recent indie game, but it's targeting our age demographic.
Definitely. Oh yeah, when you play you have to explain a lot of things to a 5-year-old when you play this game. By the way, like a lot of things. Like, what is that mouse pad?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, they get the job at the coffee place because there's an apron that matches that.
Oh wait, these are underpants again. Aha. Nope. Either going.
There's some drawers. Yeah, you can't really see them, but they're there.
That's the thing too, right? Like, it's just like, I like how abstract it is, but every now and then I'm like, wait, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
What are these strange burritos?
There's something about the art style, actually. It scratches the same itch for me as like 8-bit games, Like,
oh
it's
yeah.
There's something very, I guess it's a sweetness about the art,
Mm-hmm.
really, that I like.
There's like a simplicity to it that is actually like a pleasing simplicity.
Yeah. Yeah, Midnight Library, you're right. The blue book is the photo book on the menu screen, and if you don't kind of give it, I mean, you don't have to make it a centerpiece, but if you try to like bury it in the living room or something, it will get mad at you. It will sit in her bedroom.
Oh my, good stuff. Oh, skirts. I think that's the first time we've seen a skirt.
Oh, yes.
That looks like they're...
There's the shirt for the uniform.
Mm-hmm. This is a coffee shirt?
I think there's an apron too that goes...
Oh.
Oh no, sorry, I meant the long sleeve.
Oh, okay.
I think it went like just a 1-second delay.
Yeah. I don't know how to change that, but...
Oh, it's all good. I like the D&D. I like the dice shirt that matches the dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like, I would wear all of these clothes.
And it's the same color as the big D20 they have here too.
Yeah, I love that. Also, remember desks where you had to have like a whole place to put the computer?
Yeah.
That's a thing you don't see anymore.
Nope. Clunk. Yeah, no, that is true too. Though I still honestly like just have my computer like to the bottom left of my space. Haven't really gotten past that stage.
Oh, Midnight Library, I never noticed that either.
Note the lower right-hand corner of that poster. Yep, things get damaged. Oh, there's so many shoes. What? Wait, is that?
Oh yeah, those are climbing shoes, right? Yeah, and climbing gear. This is huge at this stage of life.
Uh-huh. New hobbies. Oh, yeah. I know I don't have to put all of them in the same the same
yes,
drawer, but absolutely. Also right. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page there. Rock climbing shoes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I've done bouldering like twice in my life, at a climbing gym in Toronto.
That's twice more than I have.
True. But yeah, like I had a friend who was big into climbing, like super sporty, did all the things, was finally taken out by cross-country skiing. Worst injury of his life, which was striking because I don't think of that as a particularly dangerous thing, particularly of the stuff he was doing, but yep, it was a rough one.
I am so squishy about heights that anything like that is, like if I'm watching a movie and there's those, we just watched The Descent.
Oh yeah.
Which, anyway, there's all these, like, sort of scenes looking down from a height. And my legs go to jello watching that at home in bed.
That's fair. My father's very particular about heights over water, like bridges and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, usually he's okay, but, like, over water is for something about that extra feature just does not sit well with him. Oh, what's this? Oh, got some kind of diploma or?
Oh, there's
Speaking of things that are back in Nova Scotia with my folks.
Mine are actually here and in frames because the graduation present when I finished my PhD, my parents bought me the matching frame.
Oh, sophisticated. Yeah. Mine are a bit more Franken frames. You know, if I end up like...
If you ever look under the frame, you'll discover that they're attached to the very fancy frame with like washi tape. That's what I had.
Valid. Yeah. Oop, let's see. Boof, boof. Oh, there's a big old chunker.
There she is. That computer was a good value. Like, they're getting their use out of it.
Yeah, time-wise. Badoom, there you go. Alright, actually, you know what? This can go here.
I love that file box, too.
Honestly, I still have one like that.
I still have them, yep.
Yeah. Though, admittedly, the file for automotive is all my student loan paperwork.
Yeah.
Alright. Not going to be using those, I say, telling on myself. Alrighty, let's see now. What else do we got here?
It likes that room. You did okay there.
Aha! Oh, the one last little box in the bathroom. Yeah, This is almost more like a narrative. I don't know, Sudoku or something, or like I don't know. It has kind of like a Hopefully this will help fend off the brain issues. And also, like there's 3 towels, so there's potentially 3 people living here.
Yeah.
I wish there were more like. If I could put that in the vertical cup. Alright. It also quickly becomes apparent, like, you know, how you organize things is not always how the game is.
And I think that in this level, the mirror is a medicine cabinet, so you can put stuff in there.
Oh, yep.
Oh, good point, Midnight Library. It's not your cup. You can't put your razor in someone else's cup.
I mean, I don't know. I've had roommates where we just had the communal miscellaneous cup in the bathroom. I don't know. Is that weird? Maybe? I don't know.
I don't, it's so funny. I wasn't raised in a cup in the bathroom house, so I've never done it. And I've always wondered, like, is that a shared cup? Does everybody have their own cup? Like, how does it work? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I think that depends upon the, you know, mutually agreed upon cup etiquette.
The terms of the cup. Oh, you can hang that in the shower.
Someone's, I mean, Costco wasn't really a thing now, but those strike me as Costco-sized.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm finally growing my hair now, and like it actually needs like shampoo and conditioner. Apparently, I just used soap before. Again, maybe I'm telling on myself, but like that's an added kind of complication.
It's fun because when I was doing this level, I started telling my friend about how before there was Costco in Ottawa, there was this thing called the CS Co-op, the Civil Service Co-op, and like government employees could buy sort of like warehouse priced goods.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And so we occasionally, but you got, I mean, it was not a Costco. You did not get choice. So it would be like, there was something very sort of like, I don't know, like vaguely Soviet about the industrialized shampoo from the government store. But
Midnight Library says you can take a glass/cup from the kitchen, or glass/cup from the kitchen, and put it in the bathroom to put your toothbrush and stuff in. It looks like you're an expert on this, Midnight Library. You've
How many times have you played this game, Midnight Library?
Alright, what's gonna is unacceptable. Just those 2 things? I want something vertical to put that stuff in.
You did a great job.
I don't
you can just go cram them in a drawer.
Boof. I don't like I like having them like
actually it's how I tidy up at home too.
Like,
just cram it in a drawer.
Yeah, no, I'd like have a little vertical thing beside the knife block where I could put all of those like spatulas and spoons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it once and watched another playthrough on YouTube, says Midnight Library.
How dare you? How dare you be that good at it?
I actually don't think there's anything it's having issues with here.
No, it likes this room.
It says is there something wrong with this one? Not that I can see.
The bedroom, just the bedroom, I think.
Oh,
If
you're
just
right.
the arrow is flashing,
You're
you have more
right.
to do, but if the icon is... Oh, wow, you got a lot to do.
I forgot all about everything I just threw here. Real moving experience. Oh yeah, the room I actually need to sleep in is an absolute disaster. Oops. Alrighty, let's try to fix this then. The floor with you.
Let you leave your shoes out. That's very... I mean, you're living in a small space, so I kind of get it.
Maybe. Can I take the whole stack? Aha. Let's go somewhere with bookshelf. Yeah. Wink. Boof.
Oh, fits perfect.
Midnight library. Bedrooms, least important. You can push everything onto the floor, go to sleep, and finish putting everything in place next day. You're right. Yep. That's the strategy.
And you can close the door on it and do other stuff.
Yeah,
not like the kitchen.
Yeah. Particularly, it's not a shared space, right? So it's just like, okay, I know I'm not going to antagonize my roommate if I just throw everything in my sleep space. Let's see.
Yeah. You're only going to antagonize yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all accept that that's allowed.
Yes, so your roommates have no idea what the mess is. Mm-hmm.
No bedside table in this room, though. That bothers me.
That honestly, same. All right, I guess now that there's this kind of space.
Where are you going to put 10 unfinished books, if not a bedside table?
Underneath the bed right there. It's... Yoink. No? Well, let me... No?
Game Boy before bed people still need a place to put the Game Boy.
Hmm.
It's probably going to get mad at you for having the album in a shared space and not in the private space.
Yeah. Totally Game Boy before bed person. Yeah.
This was before we knew that blue light was the thing keeping us awake, too.
Mm-hmm. No, okay, this one is apparently not allowed to be in a shared space.
Yeah, I think that's one of the sketchbooks. You get more and more of those as you go on.
Alrighty. What even is this thing? I'm not sure. I'm going to put it in there. Mm-hmm.
Perfect, it stopped flashing.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Business cards do not need to have their own shelf. Oof. Blanket. Okay. It has a particularly like threadbare quality about it.
Oh yeah. It makes you think she's folded it around, but you don't see it in the previous places.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well, video games before bed. Boop. And now, why don't the shoes? Maybe the shoes have to go specifically in the closet.
They have to go in the closet, yeah.
Alright, well, in which case, this will make it hard to keep on conspiring to get me to take those out somewhere. Oh, orientation. Boop. Oh.
I don't know what to make of your shoe orientation.
Yeah, that's valid. I'm just trying to get them in there right now. I don't think this is gonna work. We don't have maximum shoeage. Oh no! Oh, it won't let me.
Oh my god, put one in next to the blanket on the other side, just to make me freak out.
There you go.
It's interesting, it's okay with one of those shoes being out.
Oh, interesting. How is this? How does this game assign value and order to the chaos of the world?
Like, you don't have to pair them up clearly.
Yeah.
Very odd.
I do like how they kind of like... I guess they do still keep their orientation when you're... No. Oh no, they won't. They won't. Don't like this. Shoe situation. Alright. It's not pretty, but it's in. There. It's gone away now.
That's all that matters. And close that door. That's how closets are meant to be dealt with.
Yeah. Alright, well, it doesn't like my satchel being out in the open. I can't just put it under my bed like I actually would.
You can put it at the end of the bed, though. I think I have it at the end of the bed in one iteration.
There you go. Okay, that does work. Interesting. Also, maybe the shoes just need to be against a wall. Maybe. Alrighty, do we want to... Okay, actually, just checking the time. I guess we are running close to the... we're running past the end of our usual time. Are there any other things you'd like folks to know about you, or this game, or anything?
Oh, I think everybody should play this game because it is both soothing and deeply moving. And just if you like storytelling, you'll be surprised at how deep into the rabbit hole of this character you go. And if you want a website or a podcast or you want help with a project, you can always email learningtech@tru.ca and we will be happy to assist.
And now a final celebratory popcorn.
Yay! Genius.
It was also kind of like a good decision to just have those like different clicky sound effects staying.
Yeah. There's an ASMR effect to the whole thing.
A friend of mine's really into like keyboard typing. There's like an ASMR like keyboard video that like has over 100,000 hits on YouTube, and it's just someone like typing on a really good keyboard.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for inviting me to do this, Ben. I really enjoyed it. I want to come back again.
Yeah, always welcome to have you, honestly. Like, another game you want to play, other thing you want to talk about, research you're doing, research that you're helping out with. This is just a space to chat about things.
Cool. Well, this is really, really fun, and I'm glad you brought this experience to TRU, because I do think it's a really, it's always been a fun way to bond and share time and experience with people playing video games. It's got the same effect, I think, as when you're driving around or walking around, when you're both looking at the same thing but not each other, conversation often unfolds. So
definitely
this is a really good idea for bringing people together for conversations like that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like as I mentioned in the podcast, right, like there is this community building aspect of playing games together, which is like reading together.
Great.
All right. Yeah. I don't know if we want to actually wait until this finishes.
I forgot how long this level took us.
Yeah. They definitely scale up the difficulty. Like, it's interesting how like the mechanics are so simple, but I'm like, yeah, that was a harder place to put together. There we go.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if you did a multiplayer thing sometime, says Midnight Library. No, that's a good idea. I don't know, is there any particularly multiplayer game you'd like us to play? We did play with some of the librarians Ultimate Chicken Horse before and kind of messed up each other's day a bit in a humorous way. But yeah, well, feel free to put a suggestion in there, or if you don't have one. But yeah, one of the things I'd like to do more is like actually when we did talk to the Trusu Gaming Club, we actually invited them in and we played Genshin Impact together. At least that one, because it's online, it's easier to play multiplayer, whereas like my setup is in my apartment and I don't know how comfortable anyone would be with me just inviting a whole bunch of random students to my place.
This was awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming, Brenna. I look forward to chatting with you more and continuing this conversation elsewhere. Again, any of your website and kind of information and learning needs, the TRU is there for you in this regard. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming out, and I hope the rest of the night is kind to you. I'll see you next week. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.